The mind is an interesting thing. And I say that because of the experience that I had in my own mind today. Quick bit of background: for the past year or so, I've been loosely following a program called Bull Mastiff by Alexander Bromley. If you're not familiar with Alexander Bromley or his work, I highly recommend you go look him up. But the idea of the program is you do 3-week waves. You do the primary compound movements: squat, bench, deadlift, overhead press. The first 3 weeks you do 4x6. The next 3 you do 5x5. The next 6x4. After the primary movement, you do a secondary movement, which is like a variation of one of the primaries. So like after you squat, you do a deadlift variation. After you deadlift, you do a squat variation, etc. And you do those for 12 reps in weeks 1 to 3, 10 in weeks 4 to 6, and then 8 reps in the third wave, and so on. So you're kind of building up to heavier weights. You're waving intensity and volume as you go across. And that's really the key, that intensity and volume wave. So where I always get into trouble is I forget about the wave and I just start making a linear progression out of things and chasing heavier weights every week. I get really addicted to, wow, you were able to PR last week, let's PR again this week. And as I say that out loud, I know that's not something you can do as even like a beginner to intermediate lifter like I would qualify myself as. But it's a trap that I fall into nonetheless. So bringing this back to my mind, this week I forced myself to kind of reset and say, you're going to follow a program. You're going to follow the recommended RPE. You're going to follow the recommended volume. You're just going to put in the work. You're going to, focus on your technique. You're going to focus on your tempo. You're going to focus on control. You're going to set a good baseline, and you're going to move forward. But today's Wednesday. I started that on Monday. You're looking at footage from Tuesday. And today at work, I had to put a fleece on over my short sleeve shirt because I felt like my arms have shrunk 2 inches because I am no longer doing 8 sets of bis and 8 sets of tries with myo reps on 6 out of the 8 sets. I'm so used to, and I love chasing that intensity. I feel like if I don't do more than last time every workout, I'm going to actively get smaller. And that's where I say the mind is really interesting. There's no way I've made that much physical change. I guess maybe I don't have as much glycogen and localized inflammation and water retention, but there's no way that much has actually literally changed. But my mind absolutely told me that it did. So I guess what I need to overcome is just sticking to the program and dealing with the fact that it's this is what you look like right now. And if you want to get leaner, you've got to do it slowly over time. And same with getting bigger and stronger.